Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's about 1:35. I'm going to call the Assembly Human Services Committee meeting to order. And the first line of the business, we have first line of the business is definitely doing the roll call. So, Madam Secretary.
Here. Mays. Here. Calderon. Lopez. Here. Mainshine. Stone. Here. Thurmond. We have a quorum.
All right, great. Thank you. We do have a quorum. I'd like to move 5 items to the consent calendar. That will be item number 3, AB 376, and item number 6, AB 608, and item number 7, AB 702, item number 7, and item 11, AB 982, and item 12, AB 1299. Do we have a motion and a second for the consent calendar?
Second.
Thank you. So we have a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
AB 376, Lopez, do pass as amended to appropriations. Recommend consent. AB 608, Gordon, do pass to appropriations. Recommend consent. AB 702, do pass to appropriations. Recommend consent. AB 982, do pass as amended to appropriations. Recommend consent. And AB 1299, Ridley Thomas, do pass as amended to health. Recommend consent. 2.
Here. Aye.
Mays.
Aye.
Calderon. Lopez. Aye. Mainshine. Stone.
Aye.
Stone, aye.
Great. Thank you very much. That leave 7 more items on today's calendar, and I'd like to limit the testimony to 3 witnesses on each side, and 3 minutes for each of the witnesses. And any probably want to add up, please line up to my left, your right, and the microphone, and state your name and affiliation. So we will begin with AB 743. Ms. Ekman.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members. It's my pleasure to present this very common sense bill for you today. AB 743 seeks to remove some unnecessary barriers for hardworking CalWORKs recipients who are attempting to improve their lives as well as the lives of their families and get back to work. Specifically, this bill clarifies that the post 9/11 GI Bill benefits earned through military service will be exempted from consideration in determining Cal Grant's grant eligibility. Legal services report that in some cases of the GI Bill, living allowance have been counted as income or assets for determining eligibility, and that clarification would be helpful, so this just serves to clarify that. And additionally, this bill seeks to ensure that people who are complying with CalWORK's Welfare to Work program by participating in an educational degree or vocational training program are not sanctioned for unnecessary reasons. Research has shown, and we've had a lot of incidents, especially in my county, people are enrolled in school, doing what they're supposed to be doing, working towards a degree to be able to get a good job, and then they have to leave school to go to do a 30-hour job search, work search, which often is not resulting in them actually getting gainful employment to keep them and their families out of the system forever. So we're wanting to say that going to an educational program that prepares them for a long-term job should count as looking for work. These changes will provide low-income Californians a quicker pathway to a successful and self-sufficient life, which we're all working towards. With me today, I have Antoinette Dozier from the Western Center Law on Poverty, and Kevin Aslian, of course, from the Coalition of California Welfare Rights, who are sponsors of this bill.
Hi. As a clarification, Jessica Bartholow with the Western Center on Law and Poverty. My colleague Antoinette Dozier could not got delayed in the Capitol. We had also intended to have a student here from the Assemblywoman's District from Stockton. And he has asked me, he was unable to come because his little 4-month-old is sick, but asked me to share with you a little bit about his story and why he was hoping that the Assembly members could pass this bill today. Andre's a parent. He's married. He was working until he was out of work and laid off as a result of the fall in the economy, along with his wife. They never expected to have children. It was a surprise to them, and they were enrolled in school. They were told they couldn't have children, and along came the baby. And they were given the Sophie's choice of having to drop out of school and go back into an economy that failed them, and jobs that will never keep them out of poverty, or stay in school and do better by themselves and their children. Andre he travels 30 miles a day to get to a community college, and he's required to participate in study time as a requirement of his education. That study time is not counted in his welfare to work program. So in order to make it all fit together, he takes 16 units of school with a small child, and enrolls in supervised study time that is counted in his county. And as a result, he spends time away from holding his child while he's studying. He's still a little baby, so he could be reading, he could be studying, he could spend more time at home. He would like to do that. He doesn't have transportation, so he's getting to school by rides and public transportation. They're working very hard to get out of poverty. They don't want to be there. They never expected to be there. And most of the approximately 30,000 students who do participate in our community colleges, and the 7,000 or so who participate in welfare to work in colleges outside of community colleges, these are the best and brightest Californians. They're doing what we've asked them to do, which is to try to succeed and excel and do their best. And this bill, we're very proud. Western Center on Law and Poverty is so proud to sponsor by Ms. Eggman, because we do believe that this is a hand up, not a handout. And we hope that you will agree and give your aye vote. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Asley. I'm with the Coalition of California Welfare Rights Organizations. The fastest way off of welfare is education, and that's a proven fact. Most people get an education, get a job where they could sustain themselves, not the income that you get from McDonald's or $9 an hour. If a person serves their country and they fought for this country, their GI Bill should not be counted as income. And if that means California has to pony up a few dollars to thank people for their service, we should be proud to do that. And we should not ask for the feds to increase their veteran benefits because we're too cheap over here to help people who have served their country. I've seen in my lifetime, I've been doing this since 1970, I've seen many women who are trying to go to college and try to get off of welfare. And to me, they're heroes. It's not easy for a 30-year-old woman to go to college. They don't go there to party. They don't go there to have fun. They go there for one purpose, to get an education. Meanwhile, they have to raise their children on a fixed income that is equal to 31% of the federal poverty level. And finally, this bill also says in the Welfare to Work program, if you don't go to the SIP program, which is the self-initiated program, then you get study time. But the SIP program means that if you on your own take initiative and go to college and then apply for welfare because you took initiative, then they won't give you study time. And that's bad. People should be rewarded for taking initiative and not demeaned. So we urge you, aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any people wanted to add on to support? Please line up.
Deneen Micheletti, representing the California Alternative Payment Program Association, in strong support.
Thank you.
Andrew Shane with the California Association of Food Banks. I would just remind everyone that nationally, 1 in 5 who seek food assistance are veterans or members of a veteran household, so we're strongly in support of this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Latoya Ramsey, National Association of Social Workers, California chapter, in support.
Thank you. Any witnesses from the opposition? Seeing none, any public wanted to just announce their opposition by stating your name and affiliation? So now, all right, thank you very much. I would just be opening for the members' discussion.
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions. In regards to this being, well, does this bill largely end CalWorks work requirements for college students?
No, not necessarily.
No, not at all.
Does not totally wipe it out, no.
Yeah, actually, the CalWorks, as you know, adults who receive aid in the program are required to participate in welfare to work. And participation in vocational ed or certificate programs have always been allowable under the program. It's since the inception of the program. This bill in no way undermines that or the vision of welfare to work. What it tries to do is address like hiccups in that vision that we've seen since the inception sometimes. Most of them are since the inception, and things that we've tried to address in other ways. But they absolutely do not undermine the vision, the original vision of the CalWorks program, which was that welfare to work would include vocational and certificates and degree programs as a way to achieve welfare to work participation.
Do you think that it could incentivize people to get on CalWorks so that they wouldn't have to look for other employment while they're in college?
No, and in fact, most students are seeking employment through on-campus jobs, and unfortunately, over the last several years, with the loss in funds for those colleges, specifically community colleges, those kinds of campus jobs aren't available to everybody who's eligible for them. So the opposite is true, is that there are more students seeking employment through work-study jobs on campus than there are jobs available for them. I've never met, I know other people have, recipients of the CalWorks program who aren't looking for jobs. Again, I've said before, these tend to be kind of very eager participants in the program and are seeking ways to increase their income and the well-being of their kids.
Yeah, so many of the students not only get an education, but they also work on campus and they meet the federal work participation rates. So it's a double whammy for the government.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
The federal government requires that 50% of the people who participate in the welfare to work program be meeting the federal work requirements. In order to meet the federal work requirements, you have to work 30 hours a week or 20 hours a week, depending on how old your child is. If your child is over 6, it's 30. Under 6, it's 20. So many of the students who are going to college, they're also working on campus. And if they do 20 hours a week, they meet the federal work participation rates. So that's a positive. And also, there's about 87,000 people are participating in welfare to work today. About 50,000 of them are in self-employment. Maybe only 10,000 are doing education or less. So this only basically affects 10% of the caseload insofar as those who are participating in the welfare to work program.
Okay. Let's see if there's anybody else that has any questions.
Any other questions? All right. Ms. Ekman, would you like to close?
I would just respectfully ask for your aye vote in this very common sense bill. I think will help people get back on their feet.
Thank you very much. I would like to entertain a motion.
Second.
We'll have a motion and a second. Secretary, please call the roll.
AB 743, motion is due pass to appropriations. Chu?
Aye.
Chu, aye. Mays?
No.
Mays, no. Calderon? Aye. Calderon, aye. Lopez?
Aye.
Lopez, aye. Mainshine? Stone? Thurmond? Bill's got 3 votes. It needs 1 more.
All right. Your
call.
votes out will leave the roll open.
It's going to be on call.
It's on call.
Oh, this is on call.
It's
All
on
right.
call, yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
And the next one, what do we have?
We don't have another offer.
We don't have another
As in-
other ones, and so at this point we can ask
So we can go with
Ms. Lopez
Yeah.